to the planning section. And again, all the come under the planning section. And then going to logistics, that's where our information technology comes under. Our communications section, our computer systems all report through to the information technology unit. And then EOC support being the facilities, security, clerical staff, and that the getters are the people that provide us with supplies, personnel, transportation should we require an evacuation. And then of course people there are the great people, the people who pay for all this. So that's where we do the time recording for hours worked, procurement of goods and services required, looking after all the legal aspects for insurance, compensations, claims, and the cost accounting. Again, this is the BCERMS model. These are the positions you could expect to have filled in a level 2 or a level 3 activation of an emergency operations center. The next slide, almost there. The next slide, it talks about the recovery process. So to the left of the events, so the arrows going up is the level of effort required, and the going across the bottom is the time required. Up until, so the pink, the risk assessment, preparedness, mitigation area, that's where we live day in and day out. That's where Cliff and his team and I, we plan and we train and we prepare and we exercise, so that when the event happens, the more you spend preparing for the event, you hope the less time is required to recover. So you can see as the event hits, the response takes a great effort. Initially the response is huge, the time may be short, but then when we're looking at recovery, that can typically take the longest time. So philosophy being start recovering as immediately when the event happens. So the sooner you start with your recovery, the quicker we can get back to our business continuity. So as you see, the peak is intense, it's huge, it's long, and then the recovery takes a much greater time. So our human resources, as it sits today for the Shuswap Emergency Program, first of all, this does not include our first responder agencies, organizations such as fire, ambulance, police, our road society, road rescue societies, search and rescue, and it does not include outside government agencies or ministries of representatives that would be at the table with us. So our Shuswap Emergency Program currently consists of 75 active volunteers and 38 local authority staff. So I just want to give a clear breakdown to you and again help you understand the need to have a sufficient number of paid staff on the program team to be able to respond to any situation. So the Columbia Shuswap Regional District, we have 24 personnel on our contact list that have been trained to at least the level 2, EOC level 2. And of those 24 staff members, 21 are actively involved. As recent as our exercise 3 weeks ago, we had 42 volunteers in the EOC exercising our communication system. It was very effective. City of Salmon Arm, we have 11 persons on our contact list. And I've been here 20 months in this position as leader. And I'd just like to say that to date we have 0 active participants from the City of Salmon Arm. So if you hear me asking, I'm here to ask. Our program, the 3 local authorities, and the District of Sicamous, we have 3 active volunteers from the District of Sicamous paid staff, and all 3 of those are active. So I think it's pretty obvious that we really would appreciate having the opportunity to have more City of Salmon Arm staff join our team, come out, get all we require is introduction to emergency management, Emergency Operations Center Level 1 and Level 2. With that, we feel that you would be successfully to be able to assist us in the Emergency Operations Center. And that's the last of my slide. And we would gladly welcome any questions or comments.
I'll defer. Councillor Cantle.
Well, I've got a whole lot of questions, and I don't know how much time here, but yeah, well, it's unfortunate because, like, I've been on this council for a long time, and I knew that there was a program, but I had no clue that there was this bureaucracy structure already. And I'm thinking, how much is this budget for, and where? And like, I've got a whole, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, yeah, you did.
Myself, and
how much do we pay now?
we could give you that information.
How come we haven't heard about this before?
Oh, we have.
Very
Several times.
Very minimally.
Councillor Issa?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for your presentation, Kate. It's something that I've been quite aware of the last couple of years, and a couple of questions, and certainly recognize that, as always, it's a system in development, it's a system in progress, it's always changing and adapting and enhancing. I know about this time last year we had the discussion around whether or not the local program was meeting the sort of best-in-class benchmarks across the province, and it's good to see that there's been progress, because even from the last couple of years of things I've been involved in, whether I think an inaugural sort of present to members of council that couldn't participate then about a couple of years ago, I attended a PEP seminar in Kamloops, that there's been definite progress, but it's still that whole thing, there's always more to do, there's more we can plan for, more we prepare for, and the more we do in advance of a disaster, the better. So certainly I know I've raised it in the past of our needing to encourage more regular staff to be involved, and I'm certainly supportive of that, and I can progress quickly here.
Thank you.
Councillor Flynn?
Yeah, I'll make my comments now after Councillor Kentle's questions. First of all, every year that I've been on council, the Shuswap Emergency Management Program, or the SEP program, has been a line item on the CSRD budget. So it is a line item on that budget. It's a significant portion of our budget towards the CSRD, I think it's significant. But I also think if you look at that structure, how much would that cost for us to do ourselves and set up and implement? And I think the regional aspect of it makes total sense. As you said, even when I looked at that map, all I could think about was, an emergency knows no boundaries. And the map is even insignificant in considering that we border Nord and TRD and all the other areas that also have their own programs. And I know Revelstoke provides their own, the CSRD contracts to them. Correct. To provide their own. We're budgeting or assisting in the contribution towards this. The whole reason you guys are here is because I felt council didn't know what has happened in the last 2 years at your organization, and that's why you're here, is to explain it to council. And it's just unfortunate today when we've had 2 other significant presentations, because I think this one merits a lot of time. It's interesting when you see what just happened in California and what they've dealt with, and we've seen it here in '98, and Kelowna saw it in 2003. If we don't have that structure behind the scenes, we can't deal with those things. And I think that it's really important for everybody to know that there is significant structure and time spent there. And I think since Ted and yourself have been involved, and you brought on Cliff, in my 2 years of seeing the changes, I think they're hugely refreshing. You're not building something just to build it. You're building it because it's needed. Also, it's finally been recognized by Ted and me that this isn't a separate organization from the CSRD. It's a branch of the CSRD, or division of CSRD. So I think it's all positive. I did have a question with regards to the hazardous assessment. Based on yesterday and what happened in the South Okanagan and Central Okanagan, we either were lucky because we get fewer winds, or it was just where the storm hit. Have windstorms been a significant part of that hazardous risk assessment? Because I don't think anybody's seen, even in the South Okanagan, what I yesterday, and I know the coast saw it the year before.
Cliff can answer that.
There's 60 identified hazards in the province. Windstorms is one of them, and it has been looked at as part of the report.
Okay. And then my last comment would be that I'll do,